I've interviewed several entrepreneurs, including 3 family members that have gone through really tough times, for example, the Great Recession, and they used a set of strategies and tactics to weather the storm and really thrive during those environments, and especially coming out of them. So I'm excited. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through some of the things that they've shared with me in hopes that they help you during tough times. If you don't know me, I'm Spencer Powell, the CEO at Builder Funnel, and our company has helped remodelers generate well over $150 million in remodeling projects, working on their websites and their online digital marketing systems. This channel, Builder Funnel TV, is where we share tips, strategies, tactics, things that we've learned and that have worked for us in hopes that they also work for you. So give them a try if you want, and if not, hopefully you'll at least get some good ideas. So today we're going to talk about a few things on the entrepreneurial side and more of the business side, things that I've picked up and learned from some mentors of mine, some family members of mine, people that have gone through really tough times, including the Great Recession, and what they did to really push through those and kind of accelerate through those and then come out the other side even stronger. So let's get into some of those strategies. The first one, and at the top of the list, is having a really strong sales and marketing system. And if you think about it, it makes sense because at the end of the day, sales and marketing are going to drive revenue, and that's what's going to sustain you through any tough time. And so if you have a really weak system, maybe you rely on a lot of chance, word of mouth, referral, you can easily go from a $4 million a year company down to a $2 million a year company just like that, because people aren't referring and passing your word along. But if you have a really strong sales and marketing system, then that will continue to feed your lead channels and your sales funnel from other sources. And so it mitigates your risk as you approach times where maybe there is less demand and less overall projects. You can scoop up some market share. All right, number 2, cash in the bank. Nothing beats having some safety and some security. Being able to weather the storm for 2 months, 5 months, a year, if you have some months of negative net profit and negative cash flow, then you've got something to lean on. Cash in the bank, it's hard to beat that. And so that's something that oftentimes as you're hitting a really tough time, it's almost too late. And so it's something that you have to plan and prepare for in advance, oftentimes years in advance, to build up that cushion. But whenever you're hearing this, it's like the old adage, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago or 50 years ago, but the next best time is today. So start stacking cash in the bank so that you're ready to weather a storm. All right, number 3 is control expenses. So cutting back on things, meal, travel, things that are maybe not critical to the operation of the business, but things that you could do when you're more flush with projects or more profitable, and you chose to make some of those decisions. Maybe now you say, well, we'll cut some of those out. They're not going to impact, operations or sales and marketing and moving the business forward. You can probably find a handful of those things going down your P&L for the last 6 months or 12 months and seeing, I would call them non-critical, like admin items that you can cut out of the business. Maybe you made some decisions to, say, lease a vehicle or buy a vehicle. Maybe there's some things that you can do with bigger purchases, where you might say, hey, I'm going to downgrade a little bit here and make some different decisions to skinny up overhead and make sure that you're in a spot where you can, again, focus on what I would call all the critical items to the business versus, are there any easy non-critical items that you can cut out to make sure that you're controlling expenses as you head into tough periods of time. Number 4, step on the gas. And this is something that multiple people shared with me when I had these interviews talking about, really tough times. They said that was actually the time where I stepped on the gas a little bit. They were in a spot to do it, and that was where they picked up the most ground. That's what all of them said. They said, I made the most gains during the tough times when I just pushed harder versus like cutting back and acting timid and making decisions based on fear. They all used kind of those types of language when they were describing it, and then it was foot on the gas, keep pushing forward. So I thought that was a good tip on kind of the mentality to go through things. And then the final one is, it's a great time to form new partnerships and then seize opportunities. So a couple of examples, architects, trade partners, lenders, anyone that's in your world as a remodeler, design builder, there's a good chance that they're a little bit afraid and they're maybe looking for customers and other channels that they can pursue. Maybe this is a good time to deepen some partnerships with some of those people because they're probably looking for some more stability. So maybe you're gonna pick the top people, the people that always deliver, give a great experience for your customers, and say, hey, what can we do here to maybe pass some work back and forth? And that can actually turn into a great new referral engine for you. The other thing is that opportunities, they're everywhere. So it's oftentimes during these really tough times that businesses either come out really, really strong, or they're actually born from these tough times. And that's because tough times create opportunities to solve problems. And that's really what business owners are. They're problem solvers of all different shapes and sizes. And so if you start looking at that, there's going to be dozens and dozens of opportunities that you can pursue, but only if you're looking for them and you have your eyes up and you're saying, hey, I've got my foot on the gas. I'm looking for things that I can do to start solving problems. I mean, the work from home trend is something that we're still in the midst of, and that's going to continue to move as we go ahead. So maybe you develop some really great home office designs and home gym designs, and maybe you partner with furniture companies, office furniture companies, or gym equipment companies, and you might work out different revenue streams, or maybe even new referral partners that you hadn't thought of because they're a little bit outside the box. But those are needs and wants that people are going to be looking for, and that's an ongoing trend. So that's just one example, and I think if you have your eyes up, you'll always be able to spot those opportunities. And that was something that, again, multiple mentors had identified as they said, hey, usually most people in the tough times, they're just focused on only what they're doing, and they're really scared, and they're making decisions out of fear, and they're kind of like cutting back and pulling back a little bit. And so that creates part of the opportunity, is that nobody's looking for these other areas where you can be a big problem solver and start to carve out maybe a new path or something that you hadn't done before. So those are a handful of things that were passed along to me that I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope they help as you're prepping for whatever times are ahead, good, bad, or somewhere in between. All right, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.